Thanks, Jose. Good afternoon, everyone. I know I'm between you and lunch, but I would like to make it more exciting for you. So hopefully, all of us in Bangalore know what we are all going through. I think I'm also one amongst you. And being a traffic engineer trained in traffic science, this has always puzzled me as why we can't solve this problem, right? So I'm not losing hope, and I'm also requesting you all not to lose hope, and we all contribute to this problem, so we all can also solve the problem, right? So primarily today what I'm trying to talk to you about how we are trying to humanize technology, because I know whenever we talk about technology we talk about being very mundane, very robotic, or very complex, or very cold, right? So what's important in all the scheme of things is to see how technology empowers us rather than being a solution in itself. So we always have been trying to explore how we can actually use technology. So from that point of view, our endeavor has been as to how we can humanize this technology in mobility or transportation. And we see there are three core problems that we are trying to solve when we are trying to humanize technology. One, traffic congestion. I think we all face through this part, the kind of stress that we all go through every day. I think Bangalore epitomizes that part. Second is about the pollution, how it's affecting us as per our own health, and we all know how people in Delhi go through this part. And of course road crashes, and very sorry state, we are the highest casualties in road accidents that we have in the world today. So about 1.8 lakh people die every year, and this is only noted statistics, and there are a lot of things that actually go unnoticed, right? So we are trying to see how we can actually solve this, but how it can be done. Like morning we actually heard trust has been one of the biggest things that we try to build in using technology, to try to see how we can build technology to help us solve these problems. I think second important thing is what is important in any of these problem solving things that we noticed is collaboration, right? So any social problem that we try to solve, whether it is traffic or whether it is anything that is actually affecting health or anything which is actually agriculture, any science sector that you take, most important is that collaboration between the stakeholders, and that has done all the magic whatever has happened all these days. The third important thing is technology has always helped us trying to gain insights about the past and what's happening current, so that it can drive our actions the way we perform. So I think that's how we have been trying to use this in Bangalore. I'll try to showcase some of the case studies that we do. And more importantly, technology awareness has actually been one of the most biggest challenges that we see today. Because while we work on these problems, there has been some champions of technology who pick up this very fast at the leadership level, but what actually happens is when it actually goes to the people to use that on the ground, they are shy of using this because they see this as a monster, and then they take away their credibility in the whole scheme of things. So this is how the trust building activities are very important when we try to deal with technology in solving problems. So just these are the few case studies that I thought I should take you through before I jump into the main theme. So we have been trying to do Astram, actionable sustainable technology for actionable and sustainable traffic management for cities like Bangalore. Then we have actually done where we are trying to use this AI and big data to provide more actionable intelligence to traffic police all the while. And now from here, we are now trying to see how we are trying to humanize this through a mobile app. We are now translating this into intelligence for the road users to use. And I would encourage all of you to see how you can actually use this BTP Astram app, which actually gives you more insights on your specific routes and customized travel plans. Second, we tried to build an e-path where we are now trying to make sure that ambulances are not stuck in traffic. They are given green channel, whether the signals are automated or not, but then through the intervention of a mobile app, the traffic cop knows when what kind of ambulance is actually coming, from which direction and which route that he needs to clear off. We are giving them an insight at least 5 minutes in advance so that he is able to clear and then make sure the ambulances get free channel. Next, we are trying to use AI safety bot which actually helps traffic police in predicting where there could be more safety challenges. One of the biggest things that we did was the New Year Eve, like morning Anuchet ji was actually mentioning about the 0 fatalities on a New Year Eve, first of its kind, that we were able to achieve through these kind of tech plus a human collaboration, right? So we did a lot of analysis about where the accidents were happening and why these were actually happening and how we can actually prevent them from happening. And then we did all the initiatives, and then finally the outcome has really been very encouraging. The other important thing was I talked about Citizen app and then NH Care. We are now trying to see how technology can help us providing quick response to highway accident victims. So we are trying to collate the data about, and one of the biggest 30% of the fatalities are owing to the victims not being put to the right kind of hospitals. So this is how the data is giving us intelligence to act on those things, right? So we are now trying to map the hospitals and their capabilities and availability of the beds and doctors to address the kind of problem the victim is actually going through, and then that is how we are mapping and trying to make sure that we are trying to put through that mapping and then help save lives. I think these are few case studies that we are actually doing, and this is how the Astram actionable intelligence for sustainable traffic management we have built in, where we have given all curated solutions. These are not standard off the shelf. We curated this for Bangalore police and also for citizens of Bangalore to be used, and we are using the basic science to connect the technology and the use case together. And we can talk about it more, and there's a lot of material, but then this is how we are trying to showcase, and just to show that we haven't lost hope of Bangalore and we can still revive its legacy. Now coming to this as a natural extension of what we are doing. So what we have found is, while we have now, first we started with Bangalore Traffic Police, giving them actionable intelligence and trying to help them take their decisions better, and now moving this to the citizens. We also realized that Bangalore Traffic Police is not the only entity in Bangalore to solve the traffic problems. So there are a lot of other key stakeholders in Bangalore who needs to work coordinated and collaborate between themselves. But most importantly, they also need to start realizing what kind of intelligence this system can actually provide. So now that's where we actually now started twinning the whole Bangalore mobility ecosystem, right? Twinning would mean like, what is it that we are trying to twin, right? So in a mobility ecosystem, you know, the infrastructure, the roads, right? Then the vehicles, the type of vehicles that move in Bangalore, whether it is personalized cars, taxis, or buses, or metro, or auto rickshaw. So all these vehicles need to be twinned. The third phase is actually about twinning the people who are actually moving themselves, right? So that's how we are actually trying to build this one step on each other. So, and that's where the insight that actually came into Bangalore Traffic Police we were able to give. We have digitized the whole network, and we have been able to twin that network in real time. Then we know that there is a 30% of latent capacity that the Bangalore is not able to utilize. So imagine if you are able to release this 30% into the network, free it up, what kind of congestion that we would be able to sort it out. So these are some basic insights that we are able to throw up, and we are able to see how we can actually act on it, try to revive the traffic situation in Bangalore. And now the next phase, we are trying to twin the vehicles that are actually moving. We are collaborating with BMTC, BMRCL, and other ecosystem players in Bangalore, and trying to see how we can actually solve this. So this is what is the final benefits that we are actually looking at, and I'm sure in about 2-3 months time we will have this twin operating, and then we will have some good experience that we can actually bring to table. We are able to optimize traffic on routes, and then we are able to give you insights about in real time as to how it's going to help not only to you and also to predict the incidents from happening, and then we are actually able to give them enforcement actionables for the people who are actually providing these services, then enhance the safety, making sure Bangalore lives upon its commitment of making it a livable city, and then making sure that the safety, we become Vision Zero city in all, slowly starting with a New Year Eve one, we started with events, we wanted to make junctions safer, we wanted to make school zones safer, we wanted to make corridors safer, and in all, we want to make city a safe place to live and commute. And then of course the passenger experience, we are also trying to see how this digital twin can coordinate between the multiple stakeholders, like for example, BMTC and BMRCL, if they are able to come on a common platform, on digital platform, as to share the insights about what sort of people are actually, and what is the quantum of movement that is happening on every railway station, every metro station, and then what sort of movement needs that they would need, and if you are able to provide facilities for them to move away with bulk movements that being enabled through public transport facilities, right? So that's how we are actually looking at that use case, and of course all this would reduce more vehicles moving in Bangalore, and then of course would lead to a sustainable living. And then these are a few use cases that we are trying to work with different stakeholders, and this is a key system architecture that we are trying to build in. This will actually have the simulation tools, it will have optimization tools, it will have AI predictive algorithms which are running across all the three twins and integrating them together, and then we are trying to use agentic AI also built into this, which would perform the duties without the human being intervention on mundane tasks, but then human getting involved at the right interventions being taken up by them for making sure the outcomes are more meaningful and making sure that we are actually achieving the numbers as a whole. I think one of the important things that came out today was also about collaboration. I think Astram has been a big case study, and the zero fatalities on a New Year Eve is also a big example of how we were able to collaborate with different key stakeholders to get to that outcome. What we envisage, this mobility digital twin is also going to bring people together, all the key stakeholders together with one application and one platform, bringing them together, having common insights and sharing them and using them across for ensuring that they themselves are there, they are reaping the benefit of it, ultimately giving the benefit back to the community as a whole. So collaboration is the key of what we are also trying to promote, right? So with this, thank you so much for this opportunity, and then look forward to collaborating with you all.
Thank you so much. Venkat, and with Arcadis group, you are solving really something very, very critical. So big round of applause for Arcadis, and we will continue to track how it develops, and next year you can share us actually the live digital twin with simulation here at the Future ICT. So in 2026.
And I encourage all to visit Traffic Police, Traffic Management Center, where the road network is already digitized, and then we are actually having that in live. Now a lot of government decisions are actually happening. For example, the Kaban Park opening, closing was decided based on this outcome of this. Hebbal flyover is being redesigned and restructured based on this digital infra twin. It's still work in progress for full, but I think we are hopeful that the decisions are more logical moving forward.
Great. I remember Narayan Murthy's one quote: to convince me, either God has to come or give me data. So I'm happy that Bangalore is using data. That's really great.